You are?
I'm alive.
You're alive.
Greetings.
The beginning of these is always, like, these live streams is always so awkward.
I never know if I'm really live or not. Well, welcome. We're going to do, hopefully, if we get our guest in, we're going to do our first live interview on the channel with the Blind Guides series. So awaiting our guest.
We got
Theory of a Blind. Is it Blind Guy?
Theory of a Blind Man.
Theory of a Blind Man.
I'll put the link in the description. Hey, peoples. We got B Squared, Logic Evolution, Norma, Seth, Outlaw, Maxon, Totally the Tyrant. What's up, people? Risk Disabled Rider, Taz. What's up, brother?
Hey, Taz.
Noli. She says, my buddy.
Hey, Noli.
Friends and Codes here.
Friends and Codes up.
Alexander, Happy Quails. Angie, Desert Goat. Cool, man. Cool. And we have, sorry, Whistler. I'm going to add him to the stream.
Okay.
What's up? A rude comment.
Good day.
Hi.
Greetings.
Thanks for having me. What's cracking?
Not much. We're going to try this live. This will be our first live interview with our series we've been doing. So welcome to the show.
Love busting cherries.
So go ahead and introduce your YouTube channel and tell the audience what it is you do on your channel.
I've got a channel, 3 of them actually, called Theory of a Blind Man. And the 3 of them are called Live Stream Strikes. Damn, I hate when voiceover mispronounces similar words. Anyway, Live Stream Strikes Back, a new upload, and Return of the Gamer. The Live Stream Strikes Back is all my live shows.
Okay.
A new upload is kind of like my upload channel for short clips and short digestible clips for people who don't have the attention span for long streams. And then Return of the Gamer is my gaming channel.
Cool. Do you do audio games, or do you do some video games with different audio accessible components?
Both, like MK11 on PlayStation. I got a mod for Grand Theft Auto 5, so I can get audio cues. I also play like Swamp, and that's an all audio based game. So yeah, I pretty much do the whole gambit.
Cool. Yeah, I've been messing around with some text-based game recently. Like, it's just basic stuff, but
nice.
It's all 100% voiceover, you know. So.
Yeah. Do you primarily use iPhone or Mac?
Yeah, iPhone.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah. Did we send you a list of questions? No, we didn't. Oh,
negative.
Cold.
I love on the spot, so hit me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I guess we'll just jump into it, and then whenever I'm done, and if you have any Mrs. Justice, you can ask. Feel free to interject and keep track of other cool questions from the audience, because we got a live audience.
Yeah, I'll be chatting in the chat with them too, behind the scenes. So
cool.
I'll do the thing.
So let's start off, and it's probably one of the questions you get a lot if you do any kind of content and you're visually impaired. Tell us about your visual impairment, like when it began, and kind of what the transition has, if there was a transition, what that's like.
Yeah, so late 99, that's 1999 for all you millennials out there. I was randomly attacked and I was basically got hit in the head with a brick with some other stompings and attack, whatever. I didn't notice anything that had happened because I had no visual injuries, no bleeding, no bruising, no broken bones or nothing. So, a couple years go by and I wake up one morning. It was like spring of, I want to say 2000. And I noticed one time that when I woke up, there was blood floating to the front of my eye, my left eye. And then it was like, that's kind of weird, but put it under the rug. And then the following January 17th, 2003, I noticed that I was totally blind out of my left eye. And so I went to work, and at the time I was going to school for graphic design and engineering graphics and all this highly visual stuff.
Yeah.
And my job at the time was also working in a granite fabrication shop where I operate what's called a water jet flow jet. And that's basically you program a bunch of designs into AutoCAD, and then the water jet would cut them out of whatever material. Granite, steel, glass, marble, blah, 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 blah. So I drove myself to work with one eye and thinking that, you know what, you just rub your eyes a couple times and your blurry vision comes back. No. So I got to work and I couldn't even focus on the computer screen. I told my boss, I was like, I can't see out of my left eye. My right eye is going pretty blurry. And they said, well, you should probably go to the doctor and get it checked out. And there's this little moment of uncomfortable silence. Like, okay, so I just said that I'm blind out of one eye. Is anybody here going to take me? So I was like, okay, I'll drive myself. So I did. And after about 6 hours of testing and whatnot, that's when they determined that my retinas had actually detached. And I went through several months of trying to repair them. But the surgery in my right eye, because the left eye was completely gone. In the right eye, they tried to stitch up the retina, I guess. And then to keep it in place, they put a gas bulb in your eye. And I had to have that done twice. The result was the gas bulb they put in gave me cataracts. So they took out that lens. That was actually a kind of a cool experience, at least how they described it. I was knocked out. I don't know. But they say they basically break up the lens with a laser and then they suck it out with a mini vacuum. I was like, they must have hired little Stuart. What's his name? Stuart Little. Yeah. So anyway, I got a new lens. Oh, and their biggest selling point for this lens that they're putting in is like, this is the same lens used in the 1942 Spitfire. It's like, great. Yeah, it was so awkward. Like, just fix my vision. So anyway, then there's these 4 little hooks that hold the lens in place. And those hooks actually gave me neovascular glaucoma. And then I had to have a valve put in. And then blah, blah, blah. It became too much, and I lost all usable sight by I want to say, end of summer of 2003. So that was pretty much done. And then I had to consider
how old were
trading.
you?
23.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, it was interesting to all of a sudden just drop your previous life and start over.
Yeah. So have you gone to do any schools or done any training to help you regain mobility and independence? And if so, tell us like where and what's that process has been for you?
So the first year, ending 2003, going into 2004, fortunately, I lived across the highway from the Earl Bomb Center of the Blind. The only one on this side of the coast in Northern California. So I went there for all my tech training, ILS skills, and O&M training. ILS is independent living skills, and O&M is orientation mobility. And so pretty much got all that out of the way within probably 6 months, and started volunteering as an overflow tech instructor, volunteering just in general because I didn't want to stay at home and be in that blind bubble. So I was out every day, got my cane skills, and within that next year, I got my lovely guide dog DuPont, 120 pounds, 32 inches at the shoulder, tri-colored sable saddleback German Shepherd. Dude's a beast. But anyway, so I had the guide dog for a while, and there's just so much that happened after that. At any moment that I was doing something new, I compared that with the sighted life. It was like not even a comparison. It's so weird to think like, yeah, I lost my sight, but I'm way better off. It's amazing.
Yeah. So you kind of sounds like you took it and ran with it, like, and you just kept moving through recovery.
Yeah, I give an analogy quite often now about how like when we were younger, we either had like slip-on shoes or Velcro shoes, but eventually we graduate to laces.
Yeah.
So that's how I took it. Is like, this is just something else I got to learn, but different. Life is still the shoe.
Yeah.
You just got to secure it differently.
Wow, that's pretty awesome, man. Do you still have a guide dog, or?
No, that's another story in itself.
Yeah.
I'll make it short because I don't really want to rag on the school anymore. Guide dogs at San Rafael, you guys go suck balls. My dog DuPont, big dog, like I said. So he got a hold of a skein of yarn, thought it was like a toy or something, and ate some of the yarn. And I had to take him to the hospital, the vet, because I guess it was stuck in his intestines. And dogs of this size, their stomachs can flip fairly easily. And so that's what we were worried about. And it turns out that his stomach was beginning to flip because there was some yarn stuck in, I don't know what part it's called, but it goes from the stomach into the intestines. So he had to have that surgically removed. We had to go back a couple weeks later because the vet didn't remove it all. So that's 2 surgeries. And then Guide Dogs at San Rafael came in and said, well, obviously your dog has pica because he's eating all this stuff and having to have all these surgeries, so we're going to take him. It's like, oh, really? But it was the same surgery essentially for the same initial cause. They actually threatened to have law enforcement come and take the dog from me if I didn't turn him over. Wow. I was even talking to my vet like, hey, if I find a dead dog on the side of the road, can you say it's my dog? And I'll bounce, I'll run. When you build a bond, I don't know if you've got a guide dog or not, but when you build a bond with a guide dog, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. But they took him in, what was it? 2015.
Yeah.
April 2nd.
You've been just primarily using the cane ever since?
Yeah. Before I got the guide dog, we had to have basically perfect cane skills.
Yeah. I haven't got a dog yet. I'm on a list for a guide dog company where are they at? New York or Massachusetts? Somewhere up in the Northeast.
Guiding Eyes?
What was that?
Guiding Eyes? Or Seeing Eye?
I know they have a vet dogs program. I forget what the actual group is called. She'll probably pull it up here in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, we need to follow up with them again because they've gone they haven't been very communicative for the last, I don't know, 8 months or so. But
we do have the beer virus too.
Yeah. So there's the virus of government that's making everybody shut their businesses down.
Yeah.
She says the group's called Guide Dogs for the Blind. Okay. So
I'll be a little more specific because my Guide Dogs for the Blind is Guide Dogs for the Blind of San Rafael.
Okay.
Keep going.
So yeah. Do you use a anything that does sonar? Like there's a buzz clip, and the one I currently use is called the Sunu band, so it goes on your wrist. I
do my own sonar. Echolocation. Yeah.
Yeah. You make your own noise and then use that? Yep.
That's why I love the metal dime tips on my cane.
Really? Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you about the cane, like what tip you use. So that's just a tapping style, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you can apply just a slight snap of the wrist as you're doing your 2-tap.
Right.
And it'll give you a lot of feedback, a lot of sound feedback.
All
if
right.
I need more, I just snap side to side.
Yeah. Cool. Let's talk about like some living skill stuff. What do you use in the kitchen? Any kind of tools, tricks that you use in the kitchen on a regular basis?
Yeah, I got plenty of tricks. I know that the series is kind of like accessible devices that you use on a daily. I really don't use that much except for screen readers and a HIMS Polaris.
What was that second part?
HIMS Polaris. It's like a note taker, a braille note taker. It's like laptop for blind people, I guess you could
Okay.
say.
Cool.
Other than that, it's all been tricks that I've learned that have worked for me in the kitchen. At one point, I did have a talking scale. I just wasn't using that for cooking, per se. But everything was pretty much out of memory.
Right.
Like weights of, I got these special teaspoons and metal teaspoons. They're stainless steel and cups. So all the weight I still remember from constantly using them.
Yeah.
I do use the tricks like I've got 3 different size of what are those called? The fishing bobbers or whatever, the little red and white floaties that sit on the top of the water when you fish. I use those to detect when water levels are at the top of things, especially with
Okay.
hot tea.
Yeah.
Other
For hot drinks, I have a little liquid level indicator. It has
Mhm.
2 prongs. It sits on the edge and it vibrates whenever it's full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone was trying to talk me into getting one of those, and I don't know why, but I always call it the Winston for some reason. But there was one that used to play music. I was like, nah, I'm good on that. There's already enough sounds going off.
Right. There's one that beeps for a while. Then I was like, no, do you have something that vibrates? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, cool, give me that.
There you go.
But I don't hardly ever use it because I'm either making a drink for myself or, one of the kids, and they don't really care if my finger touches their drink. So
Yeah, if it's my own drink, I'll do that too. Like if I'm filling up water or something from the fridge, then I'll just stick the first digit of my finger over the edge, and as soon as I feel it,
yeah,
you're done.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Guide Dogs. Just guidedog.org in New York.
New York. Okay.
Yeah.
What about navigation? Do you use any specific software or navigation app?
I really got into Soundscape in the last
Yeah.
while. That's pretty amazing. I just like the fact that you got to put both earbuds in.
Yeah.
I really like hearing my surroundings.
Well, that leads into some more of the assistive tech. I use a bone conducting headset, so your ears are unobstructed. You can hear, and you get the audio information from your phone just vibrates through your jawbone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll send you a list of this different stuff that I use via email, so you can have it. But those things are amazing because I used to use the same thing, pop one earbud in, and getting navigation from my phone. But the app I use is Blind Square, which is really handy. I don't know if
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it gives you, distance, direction to things in your surroundings. It'll announce the names of the roads, intersections as you're approaching, and yeah, so it just gives you kind of a lot of the information that sighted people have, but it gives it to you in an audio fashion. And it's really fun to freak your friends out when you're riding in the car and you're like, hey, was that Home Depot coming up on the right? And they're like, what?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask, is my screen even on?
Yeah, you're good, man.
Okay, thanks. I tried the virtual cam today, but it looks like it's working finally.
Yeah, you're on.
All right. What about entertainment? You said you do some gaming stuff. Do you do have you done any sports, any blind sports, or any kind of?
Oh yeah. Going back to the Earl Baum Center, I started the beat baseball team as well as the tandem cycling team, and the cycling was fun because the guy that found me, Stephen Koza, actually rode for Lance Armstrong's Discovery team. So I got a hard ass whooping when I was riding with him.
Nice.
Yeah, we actually got we had 2 co-motion bikes donated to us. They're a company out of Canada. Amazing bikes. And we're coming down, if anybody knows Sonoma County, we're in Occidental, going down Occidental Road at 62 miles an hour.
Woo.
We were passing cars. I got to a point where I thought I was horizontal on the plane. I thought I was flying sideways or something crazy. It was such a weird feeling to be going that fast on a bicycle.
Yeah.
For 2 people. Right. Passing big ass semi trucks. They're just like their Jake brakes are going crazy, and you're just like later.
You said you did baseball. Is that right?
Yeah, beat baseball.
Yeah. Tell the audience about that.
It's pretty fun. It's not what you'd think it is as far as baseball goes. Obviously, it's been quite adapted for the blind. Everybody's blindfolded, whatever, just to make the level playing field. There are 2 bases, and they're big foam pylons. And the pitcher is actually on on the batter's team. So we go through these practices where you're trying to learn the rhythm of the pitcher. And the pitcher is sighted, by the way. Catcher is sighted, pitcher is sighted. So you got 3 in the outfield, 3 in the infield, and this big foamy softball beeps. So you get the pitch, and you hit the ball, and then someone ignites or sounds off one of the bases, and it's random. So you don't know which base it's gonna be, and you got to get to that base, which is about 90 feet out, in either direction. First baseline and third baseline, and you have to get to that base before someone on the opposite team picks the ball up.
They just have to get the ball. They don't have to get it anywhere.
Nope. They just pick up the ball, hold up their arm. So, yeah, I've got many different ideas of how it could be more like baseball, but what the fuck do I know?
Right.
Do they just say anything when they get it? They're just like, got it, or just pick it up and hold it.
I mean, there are referees who are sighted, so I think they call it out.
So
Honestly,
they just pretend.
Yeah.
I got it.
And also everybody has to be quiet in the stands and in the dugouts during batting, which kind of sucks. It's like if you crush a ball. Yeah, I got a picture of myself just destroying this ball, so it broke the beeper inside, almost took off the pitcher's head. But yeah, so if the crowd's going crazy, the outfield may not necessarily hear the ball. So
right.
It's got to be completely fair.
Right. Okay. So what about how much traveling do you do?
These days, not too much because I'm so busy, especially with the beer virus. But,
yeah, let's say before 2020.
Yeah, so I would go back and forth from Nebraska, Oregon, California, Washington a couple times just for the heck of it. My ex actually lived in Nebraska, so that's why I went out there. Big mistake. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. What forms of travel do you like to use?
I love the train.
The train?
I love the train, man. Yeah, like making these stops in all different kinds of states, just getting out and smelling the air.
Yeah.
And Colorado was my favorite.
Yeah.
Colorado was my favorite. Like you just step out, the air smells so fresh.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Utah was smoggy as hell. I didn't even want to get out of the train. Yeah. Wyoming was pretty good too. That was nice.
Cool.
But like
any problems with that as far as getting a ticket and boarding and disembarking and like making sure you're not left behind or?
No, I've heard all these horror stories, yes, but I've personally never had any issue with someone always coming to check on me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're about to debark or whatever. Like there's this one place, I think it was the stop in Wyoming where it's just basically a stop. There's nothing there. It's just a place to transfer. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, they said you can get out for about 15 minutes. So I just go off wandering, and then about 10 minutes later, someone found me and said, "Hey, we're about to board." Like,
yeah.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, I've traveled, airplane, train, public bus, Uber, Greyhound bus, and the private sector travel. Like somebody is pretty. In all my experiences, they've been really good at coming to find me, making sure somebody is keeping tabs on me if they're having a stop or a layover or whatever, or just checking to see if I need anything. But the public transit, I've had problems with asking for a stop and bus drivers, taking me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes wrong.
Yeah.
I
Public-
got your phone app. I was like, find your iPhone. I'm like, where the hell are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, public
Yeah.
transportation is pretty bad from what I understand overall. In my hometown, it's fairly good except for the times that it runs. It stops at 6 p.m. It's like, well, what the fuck?
6?
Yeah, 6 p.m.
Wow.
That's lame.
That's because I'm outside of the major city limits, the state capital, Sacramento. But
Okay.
still, before I lived in Santa Rosa, all of those buses spoke, so that was cool.
Yeah, some it's really weird. Like there's no standardization. Even I've been in some transit systems where they have some of their buses that have that audio. Will give you stops. What stops coming up. The next couple stops are coming up, and some of them will give you what is it? If there's another bus you can catch, if there's another line, another line you can catch at the next stop.
Transfer.
Yeah, some of them will even read off intersections, but there's no like standardization. It's all just hit or miss. Everywhere I've gone, like it's pretty wild. I've tried different apps to try to keep track while I'm on the bus for locations, and the blind square works pretty good because it gives you what intersection's coming up. So as long as you know you need to get off at the right stop, it'll tell you when that intersection's coming up. You can pull it, and so it's stuff's getting better all the time. That's what I keep telling people. It's just like the assistive tech is just constantly changing.
Yeah, I remember going to it was a blind convention, and during the tech, no, it was during CSUN, probably 2006 or something. But anyway, they introduced this the crosswalk pedestrian thingamajigger, but it's called the Polaris, and it would chirp and what's the other one? Cuckoo and chirp for the directions of crossing. But it also had a tactile refreshable braille, and it also vibrated, so it kind of accommodated all disabilities.
Yeah,
but no one ever used it. no one ever used it. So I don't know. But
that's one of the things, like with finding the button for crossing at intersections. Unless it's one that I've run into or somebody has told me, either by accompanying me and saying, "Hey, there is a button at this intersection," or if I bring back my body cam footage and she says, "Hey, there was a button that you could have used at that intersection." I'm not gonna just stop at every time I need to cross the road and try to find a pole and then search around the pole to find a button.
Right.
I go.
That's
I
why
go
I wouldn't
whenever
bother using
I hear it's clear.
Exactly. Yeah, and just follow your traffic wall, your sound wall. You're good to go.
Yeah. When I was doing O&M training, the O&M guy he's doing his assessment, so he was back behind me, and at one point he was like, "You sure you're gonna go?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's clear." He's like, "There's a button." I'm like, "Yeah, boy, I wouldn't have known that unless you just told me, man. Like, so I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do unless you got a problem." He's like, "Well, okay."
You're all nervous.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, "Well, this is a blind corner. I can't see around." Like, yeah, but you can hear a car if the car's coming or not. Like,
yeah,
it was really funny.
You can't see around.
Yeah.
We're like, well, that happens to be my specialty, so I'm gonna go ahead and cross.
Well, speaking of my body cam footage, do you use anything like that? Do you have any kind of?
I've got many different connections and holsters and chest harnesses, but they're all geared to my iPhone.
Yeah. So do you use an app to help you, whether it be My Eyes or FaceTime somebody or something like that, to get somebody to look through your camera?
I haven't. The last time I used Be My Eyes was when I was trying to set up my TV, my Samsung, to turn on the voiceover accessibility.
Okay.
But that was about it. Oh no. Well, I mean, even way before that, I was trying to organize my ties, and that was kind of difficult. And I think I got a colorblind person. Go figure.
Nice.
Yeah, that sucks when you show up with a gray shirt thinking it's black and gray pants thinking they're black, and showing up with a weird paisley tie.
Yes.
Did not go
Um,
good.
You got the
It was
right
just like,
thing to do.
he's blind, whatever.
Yeah.
You get a free pass.
Yeah, exactly. I
I
hate
think
those free
I think
passes.
seeing AI has a color
It
function.
does, but I've been real disappointed lately.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I keep getting a myriad of different colors. Like I know what colors some things are for sure because I've seen before, so I know what colors are. Like my green Irish Derby, I know what color that is, and it says
Yeah.
like brown, gray, white,
Yeah.
green, brown, gray. I'm like I can't do the color wheel in my head.
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's what some like a lot of people don't get it. Like they think that just because we have something that does a function, they think it's 100%. You know, like the OCR stuff is not 100%. You know, if I'll have whether it be seeing AI or something else read something, and then I ask her to check it, she's like, yeah, you missed probably 20-30%. You know, you missed several things that are key things, especially if we're talking about legal stuff. You know. So,
Yeah.
but it's better than nothing. You know, it's
More
better.
trustworthy
Yeah.
than having
Yeah.
somebody in the government.
I don't know. I personally like having someone else personally read it to me because if they miss something and it throws me in jail, I've got a good damn reason.
Yeah. Maybe.
If you can prove it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. You gotta be able to document it. You gotta be able to record it and prove it.
And if they work for the jail, it might not matter anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So what about self-defense? Do you
I've been doing Wing Chun for what is this? Holy crap, 2020 since 2000, and then I started with karate back in I don't know, the 80s when I was 8. So I've been doing martial arts most of my life.
Okay. Cool.
How
Cool.
was that transition? Like, since you're doing martial arts, you know, when you were sighted, transitioning after you lost your vision, did a lot of that muscle memory just kick in, or was that
Yeah.
transition part?
Yeah, it was very intuitive. It actually made more sense to me to use my, I guess you'd say, inner vision or feelings or inward feelings versus trying to combat or counter using sight.
Right.
All the visual noise.
Exactly.
All right. Right on. Now you're in, somebody asked, you're in California. What did you say? What part?
Sacramento area.
Around area? Okay.
Yeah. The state capital. Oh gosh, what's his name? Emperor Newsom runs it.
Somebody was saying new scum or
Oh man.
gruesome.
Duke Nukem.
Yeah. Well,
It's got to be the worst state. I swear. I don't care what anybody says. Come to Cali.
yeah, it sounds pretty totalitarian, pretty crazy.
What's
What
insane
about,
about it is how polarized it is. Like,
Yeah.
the only reason why I haven't left is because the state itself is so beautiful. The people that I know are beautiful. We got every single type of climate on the planet here.
Right.
But once you cross that line and go into politics,
Yeah.
shit goes squirrely.
Yeah. Yeah, just if government didn't exist and everybody was able to enjoy life without overlords, she's
That's
asking
the
about
problem, though.
computers. What kind of computer tech do you use? You on a Mac or a PC?
Both.
Both.
I do iMac.
PC, do you use JAWS or do you use a?
What's that?
On PC, do you use JAWS or do you use something else?
I use JAWS and NVDA.
Okay.
And then the iMac. I don't know. I got specific tasks for both.
Yeah.
Audio, video editing, broadcasting. It's all done on my Mac.
Yeah.
And then, what do I use the PC for? Oh, mostly gaming.
Yeah.
Yep.
What games on the PC?
The GTA 5, Swamp. Actually, all my desktop games are on the PC.
Yeah.
The only one that works currently with Big Sur, Mac OS X, is Blind Legend, which I've grown tired of immensely.
Have you beaten it?
Oh yes, many times.
Man, like I don't know whether my headset was crap or just I'm slow. Like I got to a point where I couldn't get past it, and I take a break and come back to it.
You want the ending? It's
Go on,
lame.
Is it lame? Don't.
It's
don't
not
spoil
worth
it.
the $6.
Don't spoil it. I might have to re-download it and try to finish it. No, I've got a challenge. I gotta.
It's so corny. So
Yeah.
corny. But the sound on the Mac itself versus the iPhone is way better.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
what kind of headset do you use?
I can't remember the name, but they're red and they've got it's a gaming headset. I know that much. They're about, I don't know, $130, $140.
Yeah.
They got 7.1 surround as well.
Cool. Yeah, so the audience, like there's some audio games out there, and one of them that you can get is called A Blind Legend, and it's pretty hard. You know, there's it's all audio, so there's no video component. You do some hand swipes on the phone. I'm sure there's like keyboard stuff you have to do if you're doing it on the Mac, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty tricky. There's a few of them out there. Several audio games. It's just strictly audio. There's no video to it.
You know what game really pisses me off on the iPhone?
What's that?
Gladiator.
Yeah.
I get to the tiger and that motherfucker mauls me every time. And it's like the third level in. I'm like, oh man, I must be stupid.
I tried this one called Audio Wizard, and it was cool, but it sounded like it was made for like blind kids. You know, like it was like very basic, super basic. You know, like and it was like that every level. I'm like, okay, when are we gonna grow up and do something else? So, like I'm like, okay, this is boring now.
You're blind,
So-
remember?
Yeah.
Sorry, David, but I hate Audio Wizards. I did a show every month with him and Circus Master Revenge guy Joe Quirk,
Yeah.
talking about the future of gaming and whatnot. But Audio Wizards, come on.
Yeah.
It's so basic. It's
Yeah.
super complicated for intelligent people,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense. And I got to get on the beta testing for the multiplayer thing
Uh-huh.
that I don't know if they've actually released it yet or not, but the problem is they also have visuals. So if you've got low vision or if you're sighted and you're just standing there and all of a sudden you die and you're like, wait, what the hell? I wasn't even making a sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so totally blind players are at a way disadvantage on that game.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Got any other questions on our list?
I'm giving Noli some hearts. I'm sorry. Hold on. I
Okay.
neglected her.
And then we can do questions from the audience too.
Yeah.
So anybody got any questions for our guests?
And I take all the ladies first, just so you know. Don't get jelly rolled, guys.
All right. Well, let's see. So, while they're forming their questions, I'll pull up mine.
Oh, you got your own special questions.
I have a list of questions.
We have a general
You guys, like,
template
started-
to go through, but yeah, she's gonna.
Oh, you can talk about like access because you had guide
Yeah,
dogs
if
for a
you
while.
had any problems with getting access anywhere, any denied access or denied service?
Not that I know of, but I can say that I have been left a few times in Nebraska only, where I've heard the Uber. You know, on Uber it says your ride will arrive in 1 minute, right?
Right.
So if there's only one car that comes within that 1 minute, it's a pretty sure bet it's Uber. I've had it happen at least 4 times that I can call where the car's pulled up and just left. Because my dog is huge,
Oh
or
man.
was huge. Other than that, access, that has nothing to do with access though. I
And
had,
with or without the dog. It doesn't have to be with the dog, but
yeah, I think that would be the only thing having to do with access, except for this one Chinese food place. And you know, taking a dog in a Chinese food place kind of makes you second guess yourself anyway. But I went in there and they're like, yeah, no dog here, no dog, no, you can't have dog here. I'm like, hold on, let me call the sheriffs. So got a free meal.
So did you call them?
Yeah,
Did they
I don't
come
even
out?
fuck around.
Yeah.
No, I've got really good relations with the sheriff here.
So they
You got
came
to.
out and said what? Like, told the the restaurant that
They
had let them in.
cannot deny me based off disability.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear a beep. Do you hear a beep?
Yeah.
Is that in our house?
Sounds like it's in our house.
Okay.
Actually, I think that was my house. I
Oh,
got the air
good.
fryer going.
Okay.
Because I cannot find it.
Is that where you went? You left the table a minute ago to try to find this beat. I thought it was echoing like behind me.
Yeah,
You should hear it in my
it's
headphones.
in the other room. Oh gosh. Okay.
Unless one of the kids we have the kids in the living room might be listening to the video.
I checked. Well, that's true. I checked them. They're like, "There's beeping." They're like, "No." They're looking at me like they're teenagers. They're like, look at me and they're like, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
She's finally cracked. All right, we got questions from the audience.
Okay. Yes. Oh yes. Actually, I have one is an offer. Noli has offered to help you guys with getting dressed if you ever need. She said she won't dress you, or she'll make sure she dresses you right. And then there was a maniacal laugh. So,
Yeah.
Do with
Well,
that.
just so you know, I normally wear a kilt, so you're more than welcome to help.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then there was someone who offered, where was it? Patriot in the Dark said, if you're ever up here in Michigan, stop by and you can go with this totally blind guy to the range.
Nice.
That sounds like an exciting adventure.
Oh, I'm a 10%er and I own a couple Glocks, and yeah, I'm down. Actually, I was supposed to move to Michigan this past year, but we got hit with a little cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Kalamazoo, Kazoo. My brother sells product out there.
All right. Let's see. Happy Quills. We chatted about how he lost his vision at the beginning of the video. It was near the beginning, so you can rewind. We won't recover it.
Just imagine the last thing that you see is a brick. How about that?
There you go. There you go. All right. Other than that, you got lots of love heading this way. They're joking about kilts and that they love kilts and all that. So there you go. Do you wear that kilt traditionally? We've digressed.
There's no other way that I know about wearing it. So
There you go.
I mean, it's for air conditioning. Come on.
That's right.
How about somebody reached out actually recently in an email to us asking about dating. They said they're trying to do a story on blind people in the dating scene. So do you have any thing you want to tell us about that? Like how if you're in the dating scene, if you have been, like what that it's been like, visually impaired?
Yes. Now, are we talking like in reality, person-to-person dating or online dating?
Either way, like how has it been for you? And if it's too personal, that's cool. Totally pass. But
No, not at all.
It's a question that came up from somebody, and I can even link you guys up via email if you want, because I didn't have any input for him for the story. So if you want to, you'd be a good interview for him for their publication.
Yeah, we did on my channel, we did a panel discussion regarding something similar to that and what were the experiences and all that great stuff. For me personally, though, it's just basically, I really go off, what are those things called? Pheromones.
Yeah.
So if I'm attracted right from the get-go, just like something just kicked me right in the ass, I pay attention and go from there. The only scary thing is when you get blinded by another person telling you what they look like and all this great stuff, and then you meet up, and all of a sudden you got the digging in the dirt situation going on because they don't feel exactly like they sound. So it really throws a wrench in the works.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Not because the whole materialistic surface level of attracted by sight, but the fact is that they lied.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't like liars.
Issue here from Go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a good start.
Right. As far as I've also been asked, like, preferences. Do you prefer to date a blind person? Do you prefer to date a sighted person? I'll say this much: I prefer to date a woman.
Nice.
All right. There you
Where
go.
we go from there, we'll have to figure it out.
I dig it. FDSS asked, he said, I love the studio. I see sound panels. Are you an audiophile whistler?
I love that word, audiophile.
Right.
I have to have the best sound that I can. I will not. I don't know. I think it's coming from audio engineering. And actually, these sound tiles, I got 148 of them for about $96 on Amazon. They're 12 by
What?
12 tiles.
Yeah, Google that mess. Or
Yup. I can
go in.
probably pull it up on my account and send you guys a link if you'd like. But yeah, so
That's cool, man.
I do all my own editing, everything, video, audio. I'll get some visual reference after the fact, like, hey, how does this look to you?
Right.
You did that? That's exactly the response that I want.
Yeah.
So yes, I love the audio. I used to DJ for the state capitol. Like, I think I put that in the email.
You
Marching
did. I read,
Monsanto and Anonymous and all that.
like
good
with
stuff.
actual records. Is that what you said?
Well, yes and no. What I would do is I would take my records and then I would sample them onto CDs. So basically what I have is a double deck, not double deck, but double tabled CD, what's called a CDJ. So it's as if you had two turntables, but they were CDs. You got a platter, you got the platters just like, I just punched you guys in the ears, sorry. You got platters just like real turntables, and you can do scratching and all that stuff.
Interesting.
All right.
Any other questions from the?
Oh, Patriot in the Dark said,
Yes.
she said she looks like Janet Jackson, but she really looked like Freddie Jackson.
Damn! Why don't you go get a burger? Don't ever come by here.
And then FDSS said you can do the whole room for cheap and then make an entertainment center for the sound panels. And
All
such.
right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I think. Oh, how many channels is your system? 7.1. I wonder how OCD you get about the imaging. That's a question for you, I guess, because I don't understand all that.
Imaging's hard to deal with. I mean, if you're talking about like audio imaging as far as like the placement of the sounds in a surround sound system, that's a bitch.
Mm-hmm. You said 5.1, 7.1. I do not know those numbers.
Well, for example, you could have two front left and rights, two rear front and rights, and a subwoofer. And then you could have the mids, which are basically directly to your left and right,
Yeah.
for an additional two satellites. And that would be 7.
All right. Gotcha. I'm tracking. And then you can like move it all around. I was listening to different like the free royalty free YouTube sound stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I could find music. And there was one I played and it made me dizzy because the sound kept jumping from left, like each speaker.
Oh my
I was
God.
wearing
Yeah.
headphones. It was like boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh my gosh.
What do they call that? Like 8D sound or something?
I don't know. But
That
it messed
stuff
me up.
is nauseating.
I didn't like it. It was not my favorite. It sounded really cool, but I couldn't listen to it for very long because I was like, I'm literally feeling dizzy right now. That's probably not good. Let me not put that at the beginning of all of our videos. Listen to this. Whoops. Sorry. Right on, man.
Well, do you have any questions for us, or do you have anything you want to add?
I saw a video a while back, and I just want to let you know that I stuck up for you. Schroedinger's Cat did a video calling you a fake blind person. I was like, let me go ahead and debunk this right here. Because the first video that I came across, you guys were in the van, at the church, whatever.
Yeah.
But your voiceover was going off.
Yeah.
I was like, there's clue number 1. Now, let's go where he runs into I think it was the past sheriff or somebody at that meeting. And you had no idea he was there because why? Oh, I don't know. Maybe he couldn't see.
Right. The Karen video when he's like, I'm right here. You could talk to me. And he's like,
oh, yeah. The Karen video. Oh, man. Yeah. Karen's, woo, that's another bread of my butter. But yeah, so I just had that's what I don't like. If someone is promoting something. What the fuck was that?
You got words popped up on your screen. I can't read them. Your computer took over.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. I think that was a new subscriber. Thank you, whoever that was.
Oh, awesome.
What the hell was I saying?
You stuck up for Mike.
Oh,
to
because
Schroedingers
it was just
Cat.
wrong. He was just wrong.
Yeah.
Like I could see the other points that he was making about the video, but he said that he was faking his disability, and that's just not a cool thing to do. Period. So, fuck you, Schrodinger. Call me.
There's a few channels that it's like it seems like the content is only to try to troll,
Oh, yeah.
try to troll
crush
other
people.
channels, and it's like
Absolutely.
I don't understand.
Absolutely.
But if that's your thing, then whatever, and that's not my thing. So
Yeah. It's such a waste of time. Get a life.
Yeah. No, it is funny though. The things that I hear people say, well, he's not blind because blah. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
always because you did something. Like you opened a door one time. Like you actually reached and grabbed the handle because the person in
Yeah.
front of you handed it to you. And like, how did you know where the handle was? I'm like, it's a door, dude. Like,
yeah,
Or how
Right.
about, did you guys see this story about, it was like this huge trending thing for a while, how Stevie Wonder caught the microphone stand. He's not
Oh,
really
right.
blind because he caught the microphone stand.
right,
Ridiculous.
yeah.
I saw you did a video about Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is really blind
Yeah.
or something. I didn't
Yep.
click it, but I was like, oh, that could be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you do something.
hmm
It's just so silly. It's like, I guess I don't know what people think blind people
It's
are
very
supposed to
very
do.
low expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're
Well,
blind.
going back to what I said earlier about my video editing and someone says, you did that, you know exactly where that tone's coming from.
Yeah.
You're blind and you did that? Come on. So that's why I strive so hard on my channel to bring such a heavy visual presence to it. Because people just be like, oh, wow, a blind person can do that? And they'll think twice about it.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Word.
Well,
I've-
again, we've had with us our guest YouTube channel is Theory of a Blind Man. So check them out and go give him some love.
Please.
You got some other channels you want to throw out there too? Go ahead.
Like suggesting other people?
Or just you said you have 3 channels. Where are the other ones?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's very, for the sighted people out there, you can just look at my studio and how much of a Star Wars freak I am. But
Yeah.
it's all kind of Star Wars based. And I broke up my channel into 3 channels because of how many different topics that I cover. Theory of Blind Man, a new upload, kind of like A New Hope.
Right.
So that's just my easily digestible, shorter videos, no live streams. And then the one live stream strikes back, everything that's live streamed on my channel. And I got many different shows there. And then Return of the Gamer, my gaming channel.
Right on.
I actually just started those 2 not too long ago.
So if you guys want to go check them out, go hop over there, give them a sub, give them a like, tell them hi. And thanks for coming on and chat with us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Right on. We're in the works of starting a new channel, and I'm just curious here at the end, asking your opinion on this concept for a channel. So if you want to
I've got a
steal
lot
it
of
from me, go.
opinions.
You want to steal it from me and do it. Go for it. But the channel name is, was it Wandering in the Dark? Is that what it is?
Yes. It is.
And so the idea is it's basically going to be a choose your own adventure type YouTube channel, right?
Okay.
Remember those books growing up?
Yeah, if you want to go this way, go to page 31. If you want to go this way and die, go
Yeah.
to 56.
Right. Yeah. So it's basically going to be that, right? So I'm going to set up a time to do the adventure, right?
Okay.
And I'll go live on the channel and be like, okay, here we go. We're starting off. And I'm going to interact with the live audience and say, where do you guys want to take me today? And essentially, they want me to go for a walk, or they want me to go catch a bus. They want me to go get on a plane and fly somewhere. Like, I'll do that. But the audience, it's going to have to be audience funded. So if they want to fly me to Denmark, then cool. Get me a ticket to Denmark, or, give me the funds for it. And I'm going to fly to Denmark. I'm not going to be live, obviously, the whole flight. But for each, up until a point, like I'll go stop the live whenever I have to, and then rebroadcast, or shoot it up again whenever we land, and essentially just do this adventure. Get to send the blind man to explore the world on your behalf.
See, that's what I like about my channel is thank you for subscribing. Love ya. That must have been the Actually, I didn't catch her name, but anyway,
Noli?
the one that wants to undress me.
Noli. That's Noli. That's easy.
No, that's a really good idea because I have not seen another blind person do that type of content. That's why I have a big ass peacock tattooed on my leg, and it's because when I do something that I really like, I'm really proud of it. And so I'm really proud of my channel because I don't see not only another blind person doing it, but I don't see another person doing it, period. At least my style.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, right
I'll
on,
go with
man.
that for sure.
Appreciate you coming on again. Hit me up. Shoot me. You had something you're going to shoot me via email. I'll send you the list of stuff that I use via email, and I'll put you in contact with that reporter that was wanted to write a piece on dating. So
Sounds good.
yeah, you take it easy. Say bye,
You too.
audience. Peace out.
Later.
And as always, Deo Presley Bear.
Bye, guys.